In a day, I can just read 15 slides, and that cumulative effort reads my success.
I don't think that, oh, this is where the academic excellence is and that's where I'm going to. No, like it's a continuous journey.
But like because of these things that you've done, because of these certificates that you've gotten, because of this academic excellence in code that you've gotten, you'll be able to reach some places that if you do not have these achievements, you'll never get there.
So everyone always feels like as if you have to be the teacher's pet or you have to be somebody that is so close to the lecturer for you to actually get good grades. So once again, I've gathered a few first class students to tell us their actual skills and techniques that they've used over time to actually do better in their academics. And today we have our first guest. So tell us your name and one interesting thing about you.
My name is Ayemi Labu, and I'm a footballer. Maybe before education, but I'm a footballer.
My name is Olashko Judah. Ever since I was young, I had passion for not just academic books. I'm a very, very inquisitive person. That's why I read a lot of books to understand people and generally.
My name is Akiola Ayemikun David here. And one very interesting thing about me is I love music.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Apeji Manuela Odozoma, and one interesting thing about me is I love baking, and I can bake. Like I think I'm good at it. Yes.
She has a business too.
Make cakes.
What study habits or techniques do you rely on to achieve consistent success in your studies?
One of the methods I use to practice or to pass my exams and to learn better is by reading bit by bit. Like in a day, I can just read 15 slides. I don't like read everything at once. I just read part by part. I don't like accumulating everything like to the end of the semester. I like reading like small. And that cumulative effort breeds my success.
Okay, so I'm not the kind of person that reads every day. I can't do that. Personally, I don't like reading. Don't get the wrong idea.
There are people that do it too.
I actually don't like reading. I dread reading. Maybe now I'm much more open to reading because I know it's necessary. Readers are actually readers anyways. But something that you have to cram, there's no way about it. I cannot amass a large amount of words in one night or in 2 nights. It's something that I know that the system I have to do to pass the subject is to actually read it bit by bit. So I remember last semester, I was in a room with our BGS, Meg. So he was in my room. So something that I learned from him, how that for me to pass that subject, I have to actually read more than twice. For me to actually properly remember, because cramming is a different ballgame, and like I said, cramming is not something I know how to do. I don't know how to do it, so I really struggle with subject that has to be cramming. So for me to actually attain success in those kind of subjects, I have to have read it more than once, at least more than once. I have to have read it more than twice. So if I'm to read a note, if I'm to write a test on it, and it's a note that I have to cram, I must have read it more than once. If I don't read it more than once, the possibility that probability that I would remember is very, very slim. So I would really struggle with it. So I have to have read it over and over and over and over again. Yeah.
What strategies do you use to ensure you participate or engage with material even if you don't speak much in class?
Okay, for me, at first I was kind of person I do not really believe in listening in class because I believe that I could go back to my hole and then those will go. I learned that once you actually not see if you can't get it when you listen in class, but when you listen in class, it shortens the time that you use in studying. And then me, I try before I start any course, I always try to get an overview of the course. That's why I like make. Make is applied, and then I go to YouTube, and then I find out okay how is this now applied in the real life, and then it just makes this emptiness and a hole for me to actually like want to study the course. So I'm not just studying because I want to pass. I'm studying because I saw something on YouTube and I'm trying to like find the notes. So yes, it makes an interesting, and then I read, I understand it.
And have you faced any significant academic challenges and how did you overcome them?
Oh, when then in university, I did actually have faced an academic challenge. That was when I carried over a course. Oh Jesus! Let me tell you the story. I don't take your time. That day I was making my hair when the results came out, right? And then I just saw it. I was seeing A's now, A, just put up. I still saw the F. Hey, I just went on my knees and I started crying. But thank God for amazing parents, supportive parents, Jesus Christ. I'm very, very grateful for the kind of family I have, right? There's nobody that is going to kill you if you do not do excellently. Not to say that you perform terribly, but I mean, there's love surrounding you even when things don't go exactly as planned, right? How did I overcome? I would say at first thing when that happened, the enemy tried to feed me with different lies. That I was like, oh, okay, why would something like this happen? Right. I was not thinking, okay, maybe God is trying to teach me something, this, or maybe I messed up. But when you look back and when you after seeing your results and you don't do exactly how you expected to have done, if you're a very truthful person and you're honest to yourself, you know where you know where you made mistakes. It's like when you're going somewhere and you already know that you already know where you're making mistakes along the way. Like even before you get to that destination, you already know when you already start messing up. Imagine having a C of 7 over 30. It was obviously was it a miracle? I was expecting a miracle, sha, but then it did not happen. I learned from it, right? But then how did I overcome? I went for the classes back home. I actually did not focus. I'm like, to not fail it again. That's crazy now. It was a 0 unit question, so it didn't affect my GPA. But it affected me mentally, emotionally, and then yeah, but I overcame. I got an A when I did it again by the grace of God. But I mean, like one thing that really helped was having, like I said, the right people around me. Do you understand? And yes, I know. Like I said, the devil tried to like feed me with lies that God is trying to teach you a lesson. Oh my God, I read a book and it was like the Holy like your conscience might um tell you that why you doing what you're doing is very wrong, like might speak up or would speak up, right? But then the Holy Spirit is the one that, okay, you've done this, right? This is how you rectify it. This is what you do correctly. This is how you rectify your mistakes. Something like that, Sha. Like he doesn't bash you like you bash yourself or other people. He would point you in the right direction. And I got to that, SNF is not God's plan for anybody. Which kind of anything am I learning from SNF? But then I thank God for that. That's over. Yeah.
What inspires you academically, and how do you stay motivated over time?
But I just know that one thing I don't like is failure. So failure is what motivates me to actually read. Yeah, I hate failure. Failure makes me feel like a failure, essentially. So in order not to fail, I have to read. And for someone like me, I'm the kind of person that when I do not like something, for instance, subjects that don't involve calculations, I realize that I struggle a lot with it, so I don't know how to cram and all those things. So in my secondary school, what I used to do is I was driven by competition anyways. So it was a thing of I knew the courses I needed to do and excel so much in, the courses that I found most appealing and more easy, which were majorly calculation subjects like, let's say, physics, chemistry, further mathematics. As the glory of God, I was probably the best or even not the best in those subjects. So these were the subjects I knew that I needed to do so much in order to excel. And in glory to God, jam submission subjects were physics, chemistry, English, and mathematics. So it was a win-win for me. So what inspires me and what motivates me? Lack of failure. I don't want to fail. I just don't want to fail. Yeah.
So entering Covenant University, I wasn't like all that. I can't lie to you. My secondary school background wasn't that good, but glory to God, I met this couple of friends that changed my life. I can't lie to you. Those guys changed my life because I don't know, but the environment it might sound so cliche, but the environment you find yourself actually takes you way far than where you started. And then those guys really helped me. And then starting 100 level, it's something that I heard from Chukwudi from YouTube video. He said that once you get that one good result, everything just falls in line. And then I got that one good result. That's one perfect result. And then after that, as well, I was not doing because I wanted to get a good result, but like because my parents pushed me, my brother pushed me. I actually sat down. I looked at the future. I'm going to have a wife. I'm going to have children. So I put them in my mind. I'm actually being serious. I put them in my mind that what do I want to produce for these children in the next 10 years? I'll have something to boast. The one that will come and start asking me, Daddy, what did you graduate with? What was CGPA in your university? I'm like, yes, I was a first class graduate. I graduated with this CGPA, a very good CGPA. And yeah, I also want to. One of my ultimate goals also is the fact that I can be in chaplaincy. I have other things to do. And some people look at serving God as I can tell them that, oh yes, I've been serving God since my 100 level first semester. And yes, I'm still performing very well. Like this is not an excuse for you can serve God and God is backing you up in everything I do. Okay, starting this year, I had I made a little list of books I wanted to read. And then you see books like Atomic Habits, Persuasions of Power, different books. But and the one that stood out was How to Sleep, The Power of Sleep. And I was like, how would a sleep book be in a motivational group of books? And then I was motivated by one of my friends to actually read the book. And then I saw the effect of actually sleeping. Sleeping is so important, not just for the fact that you want to have a good life. Just for example now, it doesn't have immediate effect in your life. Just for example, taking sugar, taking a lot of sugar, might not show now, but in the next 50 years, the exact same thing happens with sleep. But sleep boosts your quality of life. The way after I started sleeping, I started having more energy. Apart from that, I started having better emotions. When you don't sleep enough, the emotional part of your brain is activated, and then you get easily high, easily off. So there are a lot of things that are. It might sound so cliche, but I promise you, your life will be changed. Just start sleeping. In school, sleep is actually very, very hard. It's not hard, but I believe if you make it a priority, you can actually do it, right? Because I know one of my G's, he started this sleep movement thing when I was so level, and then he's playing ball. I think I know the person. His name is Bumi. He came earlier before me, he's playing ball and he's actually doing very well. He sleeps 8 hours of sleep, even before exam. And I started doing that this semester, and I've seen a lot of change. You can produce very, very well if you're sleeping well. Don't carry that ideology. Yes, let me remind you. The person that formed that ideology of 8 hours of sleep, you have slept 1/3 of your life. In the book I read, they said that the people that made that movement, they even died of diseases related to sleep. So it's better for you to have a good life, have a long life, than for you to have a short life and actually get what you want and then have a short and diseased life, if you get what I'm trying to say. So please sleep. Sleep is very, very important. Please, sleep is very important.
Before every exam or any test, you have to sleep 8 hours because the brain, biologically proven, you can check on Google. If you sleep for 8 hours, your brain will be charged for the next exam.
How do you handle stress or pressure, especially during exams or tight deadlines?
Okay. I don't think I'm always under pressure because what I said before is that I read bit by bit. So if it's in the aspect of test or this thing, I know when test 1 is, I know when test 2 is, I know when exam is. So because I've read cumulatively, I've been reading small. So I think I don't need to read under pressure. But if it's something like assignments and this thing, assignments and projects, I think I meet other people that are actually also good, so we collaborate together and do the assignment.
Yeah, so you doing other people, you have to distribute the load over other people.
Okay. From second, if I look back now, if some of my classmates from secondary school see me, though, I'd say I've changed, right? Definitely. Secondary school, I didn't used to copy. I was a do-it-yourself. Why are you copying? I can't. But all students now, if I did it, you can't do it, right? So I would do all my assignment by myself, do everything by myself, basically. But then, even 100 level, 200 level, that was still the same mentality. That I'm just going to run it by myself. But then, 300 level, things got tougher now. 400 level now. You distribute the load. Honestly, I've come to understand that in this life, you choose your battles. I have 10 assignments, okay, and I'm supposed to submit. Okay, there are times that you have you've known about the assignments 2 weeks or even more prior to submission date, right? You're a student. You're not only a student. There are other things calling for your attention or seeking. Hey, English. There are other things that are calling your name that need your attention, right? So I might not exactly have the whole 2 weeks to dedicate to solving those 10 assignments, right? But then, like I said, you distribute the load. Okay, I find someone I find someone that plans on doing the assignment, right? And then we can rub minds together. We would work on it. Sometimes, sadly, I do copy. It's not maybe you can remember, but sometimes, okay, this thing I don't exactly have the time to. I can't. This is meant to be academic. I'm sorry, sometimes I'm not able to make that sacrifice to actually do the assignment by myself, right? So then I can seek assistance, help from another person, right? Or how did you go about it? I did. But then obviously, later on, the work still falls back on me. I still would have to go back to learn it, right? Yes. So you said pressure and what?
And stress.
Stress. I stress. If I'm feeling stressed, I used to rest too.
Facts.
I will rest. In this life, only the living can write exam. Only the living can pass. So if I'm not alive, who's going to do it?
What advice would you give to other students who want to improve their academic performance but struggle to like find their rhythm, like finding that their system or what works for them?
You've heard about Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes, one of the best quotes in my life I've ever heard was, he said something. He said, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you first to the level of your systems, right? The system you set is the most important thing. And he said it's even more important than the goal itself. Because many people, everyone, for example, starting a semester, everyone wants a 5.0. But it's not everybody is willing to get the system to achieve that 5.0. And the system that is more important. Because it's one thing for you to have something, it's one thing to be consistent in getting that thing again and again and again. So for systems, my own system, I try to first find out, okay, I'm mentioning the semester, I go to the course compact. I know all my courses. So I have higher level guys I know that are trusted, not people that are you understand?
Yeah.
So I find out, okay, which course is tough, which course is easy. And then from the tough courses, I just pick them out. Let me say this semester I've heard of applied thermodynamics, control systems, and like 3-4 courses. And then I make up a table at the back of my notes and I write all the topics and all the weeks. And then I can't be the kind of person that I'm not like Bumi. I know how Bumi to do it, but like I can't be too consistent in reading like that. So I tried my best to like focus on those 4 courses. I make sure I don't go 2 weeks without reading the former weeks of those topics. So like yes, and bad thing about people is the fact that when you make something look so hard, you can't really produce well. But when you break, as Bumi said, when you break it into little chapters, like 15 slides per day, 8 slides per day, it makes it easy for you to like just go through. And you're not going through because I want to those parts and I want to understand the course. And the most important thing is the fact that there's a difference between learning under pressure and learning when you're at your comfort zone, like you're in your comfort zone, sorry, you understand? So literally, first of all, have an overview of how the semester is going to be. Number 2, know your tough courses. Identify your tough courses. Read on time. Don't wait for last minute. But there's some courses that I can do last, like let me say
CMC.
Yes.
So yeah, essentially, and it's still the same for university anyways, because calculation subjects, I realized that it has actually blessed me with the innate ability to actually understand and assimilate things very quickly. So one thing is that even if I do not necessarily listen in class, which I actually do, but most people think I don't. I listen in class. It's not actually slide, but I actually listen in class, but I don't necessarily pay so much attention sometimes. But the moment I find out that the moment I turn my attention to it and actually pay attention to, I begin to follow patterns. I might not get the full picture, but I follow patterns. And the Holy Spirit literally just helps me to understand how the patterns are going. So even when I go back to sit down to read, I can understand it. Like, it's not a thing of, I don't use it, but I hate using it too, by the way. So it's a thing of God has actually given me the innate ability to actually understand. And there's a point where I understand so that I know that I actually need to like reach out to people for more understanding. So with that, really helped me. I just have the gift of understanding. I know how to properly assimilate and debunk problems basically. So yeah.
This last question, I always like having a final question that makes every single guest to think a little bit. And this last question is simply, how do you define academic success for yourself? And what are your ultimate goals in your educational journey?
Well, academic success, I don't think academics is the end of everything. School is just like teach you on what you get like in the outside world. I think learning in school is just like mold you like to build your brain to be able to handle that capacity outside school. So I don't think really passing. Okay, you have to pass. You have to get that grade. Your employers have to see that you actually learned something. But like what I think academic success is for you to be able to like after 10 years, after 20 years, for you to be able to remember what you learned. Like it's not even maybe you might not know it word for word, but you should be able to like the application of this, how this thing works. And Einstein said something. Education is what remains after after you've forgotten all what you learned from school.
Okay. Academic success for me in the scope of school. I think academics are really relevant for what happens outside. So my view of academics basically is that university is something that is expanding my mind much more to learning outside there. So I feel like it's a necessary thing for you to go through for your brain to actually increase in capacity to be able to do a lot of things outside there. Because whereas outside there, it's more of problem solving anyways. And your brain literally needs to adapt to the learning processes, to studying. It just essentially prepares you for the outside world there. But it's important for you to pass, because if you don't pass, people societally will regard you as a failure. Your jobs will look for people with high grades and all, and then you don't want to fail. So academic success is basically not failing and also not being a failure. Right? And of course, I think it's so important when you understand the concept of purpose, and then you know exactly where your academics fall into place. Because it's very easy for someone to go through as a mechanical engineer for 5 years and not end up as a mechanical engineer. But there was obviously a reason why you would actually have go through this. Essentially, when you understand the concept of purpose, you know where academics come into play. So I may not necessarily spend the rest of my life being a mechanical engineer, but I know I definitely would use it. But I would much more understand where, like, I have to understand the position of academics in purpose. So I think the main goal should be purpose, and then how every single thing, including academics, play a role in you achieving purpose, essentially. So the goal is not necessarily to pass or to fail. There's an end in mind.
Hallelujah.
Anyways, that's my view on academics. So not necessarily about the passing, but you just have to pass. Come on, you have to pass. So I realized this thing early, where that you have to exude some of excellence for it to be recognized in itself. So it's like you're doing something, but you have to do it well. There's some places you will never get to, even in achieving purpose. But like, because of these things that you've done, because of these certificates that you've gotten, because of this academic excellence in code that you've gotten, you'll be able to reach some places that if you do not have these achievements, you would never get there. So you'll never be exposed to that kind of stage. So I think it's very, very important. And it basically teaches you how to learn. It just teaches you how to learn. Because learning is not something that stops in school. Learning is something that happens even outside of school. So academics essentially teaches you how to learn. So that's my view on academics.
So, I think we talked about the ultimate goal now, purpose.
Yeah, ultimate goal is purpose, to make Christ and to make him known. So ensure that you exactly know what God will have you do. You cannot exist outside the scope of a manufacturer. So if, for instance, this tablet that she's holding on her hand now cannot function outside of what the manufacturer has actually intended for her to function, she can literally use this as a cup holder. Like, that's not the function, right? But you can perform that function, but that's not the primary function. So it's a waste. So I'm basically walking through life as a waste if I'm not existing within the scope of what the Lord has actually made me to be. So I have to understand that I was made for a reason. And so understanding that reason, finding it and actually working in line is what makes me a success, essentially. So I'm a failure if I'm not existing within the scope of why the manufacturer made me or why God made me. I'm a failure if I'm living a life that is not purpose-driven, essentially. So yeah, that's my view about life. That's what's my goal. To know and understand why Christ made me. To make Christ as making me, actually. And to walk in that line much more. So every other thing literally revolves around it. I see it as like, you put a biro, then you put a rubber band. So everything that happens will literally revolve around it. If you pull it this way, it will always fall back to it. It will always fall back to it. So this is literally the center purpose. And every other thing in life exists around it. So yeah, that's the center. That's what's my goal.
Firstly, I don't like school. Do you understand? I'm not a scholastic. I'm not enthusiastic about academics, right? But I've come to understand that it is a journey to where I'm going to, right? And so, like people said behind the scenes, whatever is worth doing is worth doing well, right? And so I would, because I do not like something, and doesn't mean I would mess up, doesn't mean I would fail, right? Referencing Rico again, said, nobody likes being a failure. Do you understand? I'm supposed to do this. I know I can't do it. Okay, why would I now do it? I mean, I will put in my best, right, to do it. So for me, academic success, I would not say it's not like just one thing. It's not like this destination. For me, it's a journey. For me, academic success is when I'm my only competition. That's what I believe, right? So if let's say I got a 4.3 GPA last semester, and then this semester now I get a 4.5. For me, I've attained excellence in that bit. Do you understand? So I don't see that, oh, okay, oh, this is where the academic excellence is, and that's where I'm going to. No, like it's a I believe it's a continuous journey. Do you understand? Attaining excellence, being better than how you were the other time. Oh, this past semester I was this student. After every semester I write exams, right? When I see my result, I evaluate, analyze. Oh, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What can I do better? Do you understand? And then I work on that, and then next semester I do better than I did the previous semester. So if I did not now perform better than I did last semester, that's a slap on my face from there. Like what happened? That is slap on my face, shall. So I just believe academic excellence is like a continuous, like a journey. It's not just one destination. Yeah. So doing better than you did last time, for me, it's like, oh yeah, I did this excellence. Wow. And then just keep on building on that. Till Jesus come back. And then the other part, what is my ultimate goal? But then like Mikuno Vex, I'm referring to, like Mikuno said, right, finding purpose, like what would God have you do? And then you walk in it, right? Because there's no, I want to hear, oh, well done, my daughter, you good and faithful daughter of mine, do you understand? So functioning out of, or doing, even excelling in what God did not call me to do, in the end was a waste of time, because I would now look back and be like, I could have been, this is what I was supposed to do, I could have been this, do you understand? So ultimate goal is to be in God's will for you daily. I want to be known globally. Oh my goodness. Like there's a prayer me always prays is like where they could not take my family name to me and my sisters, that we're going to take them there. Like we're going to be known globally. And obviously now if I'm there, Jesus is gonna be glorified there as well. Do you understand? Yes, that's how.
Thank you guys so much for watching. The whole purpose of doing this kind of videos is because sometimes people feel like I see people that are doing well academically, you cannot talk to them, or if you talk to them, they won't give you the right answer, or they'll be gatekeeping and like that. But the whole purpose is just to bring all this like advice home, to bring it to the comfort of like your phone, somewhere you can watch it and learn and practicalize on it. So share it to somebody that you feel like it will impact, and share it to somebody that you know that it will change their life, and I'm sure the person will really appreciate. And if you enjoyed this video, you can watch the other interview video I did. A lot of the people today, they referenced it, so go back and watch that as well and take points from it and use it to achieve the things that you want to do. Thank you so much guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want more interview videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you so much, Bumi. I really appreciate you for coming and for answering. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Judah, for answering all my questions. I really appreciate having you here. And I would love to have you another time as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ayo. It was an honor having you, even though you fought me a lot and refused. Thank you so much. I really appreciate having you.